Have you ever found yourself picking your skin almost as if your hands have a mind of its own, only to realize what's happening after all the damage is done? You are definitely not alone, and today in this video we are going to go through how you can stop picking in the moment using immediate techniques that actually work. And I'm going to give you tools that are compassionate, they're evidence-based, science-based, and truly doable when it feels the most overwhelming. So let's get into it. Hello, my name is Kimberly Quinlan. This is your Anxiety Toolkit. This is a podcast where I teach you everything you need to know about living your most biggest, beautifulest, most wonderful life and bringing the hard stuff with us. Again, my name is Kimberly Quinlan. I'm an OCD and anxiety specialist. I also specialize in hair pulling and skin picking, both called body-focused repetitive behaviors, and I have helped thousands of people with these conditions. Now, skin picking is also named dermatillomania, and it is a body-focused repetitive behavior. We actually call it a BFRB, and it often shows up when we're anxious, when we're bored, when we're irritable or overwhelmed, or we're trying to seek relief from some other uncomfortable emotion that we're experiencing, or maybe even a sensation. It can feel automatic, it can feel shameful, and it can be incredibly hard to stop. For some people, they don't even know they're doing it. And skin picking involves not just picking one's face, but it might involve any part of the body, including legs, arms, back, pubic areas, eyelashes, eyebrows, anywhere where there is skin, you might find that you are picking. The good news is there are real-time strategies that you can use to help you create a little bit of space between the urge to pick your skin and the action. Now, the goal here is to learn how to change your response, and that change in response is what supports your recovery. And in this episode, I'm going to talk you through 5 steps to be able to do that. So here are the 5 steps, and this is all based on research and strategy. Number 1, it is the power of the pause. Now, here at Your Anxiety Toolkit, I'm always going to try and give you specific tools that you can use. So let's get to those specific tools. Number 1, as we said, is to pause. This is where you take one single breath and you bring your attention to where you are, what you're doing, the present moment. I would say a lot of people find it really helpful to just get in touch with the present by naming 5 things around you, right? You're trying to get yourself out of that automatic mode of your brain into being here in the present moment and being aware. Now, this is what we call mindfulness. It gives you a chance to observe the urge, that urge to pick. Maybe it's tingling of the fingers or an irritability on under the skin or an itch. It allows you to observe that urge and again, create some distance away from it. Give you a little bit of space so you can have a different response. It also helps with us to recognize that instead of experiencing it as if it's happening and is uncontrollable, you can name it by saying, I'm noticing the urge to pick my skin, or I'm noticing the feeling of my fingertips, instead of immediately and automatically going to that skin picking behavior. Now, step number 2 is kindness. This is going to be key. You must learn to be kind. So if you do pick, it's not a failure. It's just information. It's just data. What we want to do here is to remind yourself that this is a new learning process and it may take some time. And it's also going to be around how can you talk to yourself and coach yourself through this new response in a way that actually creates more calm. We don't want to create more distress because we already know you tend to pick when there's more distress. So we don't want to add to the problem. We actually want to alleviate this problem. Now, step number 3 is to identify the specific trigger that caused you to pick your skin. Now let's take a look at some common triggers that we experience. Are you tired? Are you bored? Are you anxious? Are you irritable? Often people who pick their skin, they tend to be very easily overwhelmed or very underwhelmed and bored. And so we want to find what are the specific things that cause you to pick, and we want to practice observing that without judgment. Now next is we want to create about a 2-minute routine where we pause it, we name it, and then we choose the next behavior, which I'm going to share with you here in a second. Now, you can use a journal or an app or a log to log these urges or these patterns of behaviors. When I am treating people or when I am teaching people on our online course for skin picking and hair pulling, we have them download what is called an awareness log. This is where they log where they are, what they were doing, how strong the urge is, and whether they picked or pulled. And often what we find is a lot of data that we didn't know about what are the triggers and what are the things that are getting in the way of you being able to stop picking and pulling. Okay, so now we're moving to step number 4, and this is where we really get down to the science. Now, there is a practice called habit blocking, and this is where we identify specific habit blockers that you can use to help you block the behavior. We want to keep these things handy so you can use them to block you physically from being able to pick your skin. These may involve band-aids, gloves, nails, clothing items, finger covers, or rubber thimbles. These are really, really helpful to help slow down that automatic picking. Now, you might be thinking, I don't want to put nails or I don't want to put gloves on. I understand this, but if you are really invested at reducing these skin picking events, you are going to want to have as many habit blockers around you as you can. And what you can do is identify those trigger areas. So let's say if you tend to pick more when you're in front of a mirror, the habit blocker might be something you wear just when you're around the mirror. If you tend to pick more in the car, you might have band-aids in the car while you're driving to cover your nails so that once you're getting to your location, you can take those band-aids off. Now, the 5th is another research-backed routine, which is competing responses. Now, a habit blocker and competing responses go hand in hand, and they are crucial for those who pick their skin. Now, what we're going to look at here, we're going to look at anything that you can use to compete against the feeling of picking. It might be fidget tools. It might be textured fabric. It might be silly putty. It might be cold compresses. There are so many fidget spinners and Rubik's Cubes and so many things that you can buy now that you can have on hand all around the house, in your car, in your purse, at school, in your lunchbox, in your school pencil bag. Keep them everywhere. If you're someone who picks in the bathroom, keep a basket full of competing responses there as well. Now, remember, the goal isn't to shame yourself into changing this behavior, but to redirect it so that your body is getting that sensory experience without the consequence of you picking. And what we're doing is we're training your brain to have other ways of coping. This is very important. Now, what you may want to do is also develop some skills to manage these strong emotions like anxiety and sadness and boredom and overwhelm. We have so many episodes here on your anxiety toolkit to help you with that. These are the things I would have you practice to really get to the bottom of skin picking concerns and really learn to change your behaviors. The thing to remember here is it's about variety. You can't just do one habit blocker and one competing response and then think that that's enough. You're going to have to rotate them. You're going to have to keep practicing. You're going to have to keep moving from one fidget to the other until that urge rises and falls on its own, which it will. Now, again, keep these options within arm's reach. We want to have them everywhere that you get triggered to pick your skin. Now, let's do a quick review of what we've covered today. The first thing you need to remember is to pause. That's going to be key for your awareness. Number 2 is going to be self-kindness. You're going to always need to practice kindness because we don't want to make this worse. The third point here is identify the trigger. That's going to be really helpful for you to know when you're going to need to use your habit blockers, which is number 4, and number 5, those competing responses. But this is not a one and done. It is a repeat. It is a trial. It is an error. And then it's taking that data and really deciding what helps you the most. I have seen so many clients use this and so many students use this strategy and do so well. And if you're wanting to learn more, you can head over to cbtschool.com. We have a whole course called BFRB School, which is for people who hair pull and skin pick. We go so deep into these specific concerns and the specific tools that you can use so that you can learn to not pick and not pull. It's so, so helpful, and I really want to inspire you and give you a ton of hope you can recover from this condition. As always, thank you so much. It is a beautiful day to do hard things. This is not a simple one-time fix-all things. It is hard work, but it is so, so worth it. Thank you so much. Do not forget to follow and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.